she was princess, her dad was king. Her dad married a witch, and the witch killed him. And, like, to become the first of them all, she tried to kill her, and the huntsman tried to kill her, I think. And, like, she bites an apple, and, like, the apple kills her. Then, like, the prince kisses her, and, like, she's alive again. Yeah, so I
You mean
know.
she was asleep?
Yeah, she was asleep. But the true love kiss, what the?
I know that she has, like, 7 little dwarves, and then there's this witch trying to get her to bite this apple. That's
Snow White has her little dwarf friends, and she eats the apple that's very tempting given to her by someone who doesn't appear to be menacing. And am I thinking of the right story?
Yes, if that's the one you know.
Oh gosh, I think this is the right story. And then she like falls asleep, and the dwarves like try to help her. Yeah.
Actual story, the Grimm's version, that it wasn't her stepmother but her mother. Her mother was forced to dance in hot irons until she dropped dead.
That's very cool. Okay.
Her awakened by true love's kiss. It was actually on a journey where the prince and the dwarves took her to enjoy her later. The whole true love's kiss thing never happens. They actually take her on a journey while she's still asleep to enjoy her later. If you get the
that
hint
gist.
to that, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it's actually on the journey that the apple is dislodged from her throat and she wakes up.
Oh wow. So the 7 dwarves are like pedophiles.
Yeah.
Sort of. And so is the prince.
Yeah, that's very encouraging. That Cinderella's poor, but she's pretty, and the stepmother
I'm jealous.
treats her like crap, and then the fairy godmother comes and makes her pretty, and she goes to a ball with the prince, and then he finds her slipper when she leaves, and they find each other and they live happily ever after. It's just a prince and a princess falling in love. Happily ever after.
Cinderella ends up getting a stepmother and a stepdaughter. The stepmother isn't very nice. So as she grows up, Cinderella ends up doing all the housework and the work for the mother while the 2 sisters get the luxuries. There was a proclamation from the kingdom that all single maidens are allowed to come to the ball, and Cinderella wants to go, and of course the stepmother says no and gives her all this housework. It's very rude. Cinderella, because she was so upset, has been so nice, has a fairy godmother, and the fairy godmother granted the wish that she could go to the ball. While she was running away to make sure she got home by midnight, which was a consequence of the magic, I guess, she lost one of the slippers, showed that she had the other glass slipper, and she went off, married the prince, and had it happily ever after.
There's a girl who is in very bad condition. She's not in the best home. She's not in the best house. They don't like her, but she regains who she is by her fairy godmother.
Well, did you know that the actual story, the Grimm's version, that Cinderella actually has no fairy godmother? It's actually birds that do all her stuff, and at the end, her stepsisters cut off their toes and pieces of their feet to fit into the slipper.
No.
And crows peck out the eyes of the stepmother and the stepsisters to get revenge for Cinderella.
Actually, that's not so bad. I feel like they deserve that. That's alright.
At the end, her stepsisters actually cuts off pieces of their foot to fit into the glass slipper.
I did know that the actual Grimm stories were more gruesome, but I didn't know like specific details like that.
Stepsisters actually cut off chunks of their feet to fit inside the slipper.
I had absolutely no idea.
And then the stepmother and stepsisters have their eyes pecked out by crows.
For
That's
revenge.
gross, but I did not know that.
So from what I know, there's this blonde girl on top of a tower who's in love with this guy, and he says, Rapunzel, let down your hair, and then she throws it off the top, and then he climbs up it to see her.
I know it ever so slightly well from the movie. In the story, there's a girl with extraordinarily long hair and a hunk who is very sexy to come get him. Her. When he retrieves her from the tower, they go to see lanterns in the sky, but then they are hunted down by the evil grandmother, as of most fairy tales. They go back to the tower, where she finds her husband stabbed, and she cuts her hair to save herself.
Grimm's version, he visits her quite often and she becomes pregnant, and that's how the witch knows he was there. So she throws Rapunzel out of the tower. Rapunzel's poor, has a baby.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
The prince actually comes to visit Rapunzel quite a few times and she becomes pregnant. She takes Rapunzel out, baby and everything. They become poor, live in the woods. And then the prince comes back because he's tricked by the witch who has Rapunzel's hair. And then she pushes the prince out of the tower and he falls onto thorns, bushel of thorns, and pierces his eyes and he becomes blind.
The witch wins?
Pretty
What?
much.
That's not cool. What? No. No.
Sleeping Beauty? I'm a Sleeping Beauty in the morning. No, I don't know it very well. They just made a movie about that.
Yeah, like that whole version where she lived with the three fairies and then, you know.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you. I got what we talking about.
In reality, she is raped by the king. And
That's
she
dirty.
has and she actually has the two kids before she even wakes up.
How's that work? She won't no screaming.
And the
Okay,
king
now.
actually burns his wife so he can marry the princess.
That's dirty. I ain't gonna lie, that's nasty.